Recent numbers show that many Americans simply don't have access to retirement plans, oftentimes sponsored by their employers. And here to talk about options that people have as they save for retirement is personal finance expert Mike Martinez. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for
I know your
having me.
message always is start early as you can, saving for 65 or 62 or 70 or whatever your retirement age is.
That is correct. John, just a few numbers to throw out there. If a 30-year-old was to start saving now, whether it's $50 a month, $100, $200, that's irrelevant. But just to give you an idea, the 30-year-old would only have to earn 2.2% rate of return on their money versus if you start at 50, because we had all these expenses and everything, right? And we start saving at 50 years old, that person has to earn over 14% rate of return. So what does that tell you?
To save the same amount of money.
To save the same amount of money as a 30-year-old. So they have to take a lot more risk on the investment, where if you start early, you don't have to take as much risk and you don't have to earn as much interest to have the same amount of money as a 50-year-old.
Or more importantly, if somebody starts at saving more than 2% at age 27 or 28, then they're kind of on their way.
Well, absolutely. You know, we also have other numbers. Not everyone could do this. In a 401k, if you can max out at $18,500, again, the 30-year-old will have $1 million at 65 at 2.2%. The 50-year-old at $18,500 max would have to earn over 14% to get the same million.
That's a good point, though, because you know, a lot of people look at the 401ks. I'm sure your advice would be to do the absolute most you can afford to do in the 401k as a starting point.
Yes, and especially the younger people, because that's going to be the lowest, probably the starting point in their career. So they're going to have raises, and if they can just sacrifice and start contributing, most companies will match your deposit. So if you put in 2%, they'll match 2%. So think about this. When we get ready to retire, half of that money is your money, half of it is the company's money. So that's twice as much money to live off of in retirement.
And essentially the government's allowing you to earn interest on its money.
That's correct.
It won't tax you on the
It's
generally
tax
on the
deferred.
401k. So if from that point of view, if you know the other option is the Roth IRA, who's that for?
Well, a lot of folks I've come to find out that have 401ks and are able to later in life max out their contribution. They're taking after-tax dollars. See, we can only put so much before taxes. That's what the government allows you to eliminate and avoid income tax on. If you contribute the max, the after-tax dollars goes into an account. When you get ready to retire, John, what happens is you'll roll the 401k out as an IRA, which you owe taxes on. But the after-tax dollars, people are not taking advantage and don't realize they can roll that into a Roth. The advantage of the Roth is it's all income tax free.
Maybe the point being that as you get closer, you really need to start thinking about and talking to somebody who knows what he's doing about how do I do this to avoid making a pretty costly mistake.
Yes, because most folks say, well, I can't take the taxable money because I don't want to pay taxes, so I'll roll it over to my financial advisor. And then they take the after-tax dollars and they get a check sent to them, they put it in the bank, and they miss the opportunity of putting that into a Roth.
All right, Mike Martinez, thank you as always.
Thank you for having me.